What's up, Two Dudes Wolfpack? What is going on? It is Friday in an hour.
Yeah, 52
And
minutes.
your time. And we are talking all things AEW. It is Two Dudes with Attitudes, the midnight edition. Is it midnight? No, it's 11
Midnight
o'clock.
Express.
Close,
Yeah.
close. Yeah.
We're
And we
on
gotta
the.
go. Yeah.
We get bumped more than Rampage. So
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We bump more than bump more than Collision will as soon as it gets released.
As soon as it competes with the NBA Finals or the Western Conference. Yeah.
Finals are done, but maybe something else will
Yeah. Baseball. Yeah.
You heard me. I said golf. But anyway, what is up, everybody? And it is B-roll's on here.
Yeah,
Good morning, B-roll.
It's past my bedtime too, B-roll.
What is up, B-roll? Oh, and wrestling. See, I told you we just need to come on at midnight and all the freaks come out.
That's right.
That's right.
Thursday night, no wrestling on, so come watch Two Dudes with Attitudes.
That. And I just want to let you all know that we had a lot of fun tonight, and I worked all day, and I had 3 margaritas before I got on here. So we're gonna have some fun shooting. So are you ready?
Yeah, I had to
remember what we're talking about.
I had a Red Bull before I took.
Yeah, we're talking about WCW, right? WCW. What are we talking about tonight? All right. All right. Anyway, as an AEW, we got Collision coming up, but we're gonna talk about Rampage for the very last time. I think this is the last time, right? We're talking the last time for Rampage. Rest in peace, Rampage. We loved you. We hated you. You were pointless. We will miss you.
Agreed. Yeah,
this is our last
Rampage.
It is.
Last Rampage.
And now we can, Collision will be a lot more fun, right?
I hope so. As long as it's live. If it's live, I think it'll be more fun. But if it's pre-tape, then you can read to see what's going to happen, and then it's not as much fun because then you don't have to watch.
That's. I mean, CM Punk's going to be on it, so it's got to be good, right? He shaking his head. He looks good.
He has some things he wants to get off his chest, so I'm curious to hear what he has to say.
Maybe about him and AJ Lee. I don't know. Anyway, let's start with Rampage. Rampage was actually you didn't think it was that good, but it was jam packed. I mean, it had a number 1 contenders. Rampage is still happening. Is it? B-roll? Is it? But we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about.
It's turning into like what Dark and Elevation used to be before it got taken off YouTube. That's what the rumors are. So I know it's still going to air on TNT, but it's not going to be what it is now.
Sorry, B-roll. You can talk about Rampage on your podcast. We're going to talk about Dynamite and Collision. But I want to talk about some Sky Blue. So Sky Blue, we had a 4-way match for the number 1 contendership for Toni Storm's Women's Championship. Toni Storm's, that's all right. And Sky Blue, who I don't think I've seen on TV for quite a while. I mean, have I seen her recently? I don't know. I feel like I haven't. Have I seen her?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think the last time we saw her, she was wrestling Jade Cargill.
Yes, that's what I think. It's been a long time, and she's cute. She came out. She wrestled well, but she was going up against the GOAT of AEW women's wrestling, Britt Baker, and a couple other people we don't really care about. And Sky Blue got the win. She got a clean win. She didn't pin Britt Baker, but she got a clean win, and she is going to challenge Toni Storm on Dynamite. And I just got to say, number 1, out of the blue. Number 2, okay.
Out of the blue.
Out of the sky, blue. But I like it. I actually liked it. I like seeing Sky Blue win. It closed the show. It was nice. They zoomed in on Britt Baker, like devastated at the fact that she lost and how can that happen? And we talked about last week that Britt Baker couldn't win because you can't have Britt Baker lose to Toni Storm right now. It just doesn't make sense. So Sky Blue winning, it was nice. It was cool. It was refreshing. I thought it was a good way to close. The crowd was silent. They had no idea what was going on. I think Sky Blue was surprised, even though she was told beforehand that she was going to win. It was a good win, though. Fun time for Rampage. What'd you think? Good.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid way to end the show. I love that the commentary they seemed to be going crazy that Sky Blue got the win. They were pretty pumped about it. I like that it was a big upset, and I didn't realize that the match against Toni Storm was going to happen on Dynamite. I thought it was going to happen in the future maybe at Forbidden Door or even at some All In or something. Like I thought she just had an opportunity to win, to go against her. I didn't know it was to go right against her on Dynamite. So And it was a cool thing. I'm happy for Sky Blue, and we talk all the time about the women's division in AEW and how we want them to push new stars, and I think this was an opportunity to showcase some of the talent that they have. And yeah, Sky Blue getting a big win to get a title shot, I think that's pretty dope.
I agree. I thought it was good TV. Good stuff. I like surprises. It's nice.
Yeah.
And she was a name at one point, and she rolled with what were the baddies? She was a baddie, right?
Yeah, that's who she was. Yeah, she was part of that group. So yeah. So
like
speaking of surprises, we had a little bit of a backstage segment. Or we didn't have a little bit. We had a backstage segment between our favorite referee, Aubrey Edwards, Mark Briscoe, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. And Santam Singh was there, and Sanjay Dutt was there. So the usual suspects. But B-roll says that Sky Blue is dating Dante Martin.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Hey, congratulations, Dante Martin, because she's bad. Yeah. She's looking good. Thank you, Dante Martin. Good job. Because he's ugly.
She's apparently killing it in Ring of Honor too. Sky Blue is. So
what's Ring of Honor? I never heard of it. Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep it's that thing that Tony Khan bought that he's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's like the B level NXT. Got it.
But man, we're getting Aubrey Edwards in a wrestling ring, and I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I'm excited. I don't know if I'm surprised. I really don't know. And this is just my ignorance on Aubrey Edwards in her career, because all we've ever known her as a referee in AEW. I don't know if she's been a wrestler that's been in. I'm sure she has had some training in wrestling and taking bumps.
Yeah.
But does she want to be a wrestler? Is this going to be a full-time transition? Is this going to be just because she was reffing this week on Dynamite? So I mean, was that just a one-time occurrence that's happening? I don't know. So I'm really confused. But the match that's going to happen tomorrow, or I guess tonight, technically, when this airs on Rampage, it's going to be Papa Briscoe, a guy who's never wrestled before, Aubrey Edwards, a girl who's never wrestled before on AEW TV, and Mark Briscoe, who is known for tag team wrestling, but not 6-man tag matches. And he's really, I don't think he's been all that impressive since being on his own, versus Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, and Jay Lethal in a mixed trios match. And that's going to take place, like I said, on Rampage this week. So are you excited about Aubrey Edwards in her in-ring debut, or do you like that they've turned a referee bump, I guess, because I think this whole thing started at, what was it, Double or Nothing, when Karen Jarrett hit her with a guitar, and Aubrey Edwards is retaliating, and now they've been kind of feuding back and forth. So are you excited about this? Do you like when they get the referees involved? Is this a full-time transition to wrestling for her?
You said Karen Angle, right?
Karen,
I don't too soon. She's coming there to kick Karen Angle's butt. Good job, B-roll. Look at, he said Karen Angle. I can read. That was a joke, B-roll. Okay. I don't know. I thought it was like, okay, we all love Aubrey Edwards, right? We like Edwards, right? We love her. She's fun. She's awesome. When I saw her live, she was like working out for the crowd, doing her thing. She knows her sex appeal. She's fun. I have to say, she cut a phenomenal promo on Rampage. She killed Karen Jarrett. I thought she did really well. So am I looking forward to it? I was looking forward to it until they said Papa Briscoe was wrestling. I was hoping another wrestler, because why are you going to have two people with it? All right, my dudes, I love you, but I better, he's going to bed. Yeah, acting like it's 11:13 at night where you are. But I thought it was confusing that if you're going to have Aubrey, who I'm assuming, even if she's been training to be a wrestler, hasn't wrestled. I haven't seen her on TV or heard about her in dark matches. And then you're going to have Papa Briscoe. Now, was he a wrestler beforehand? I don't know. If people can help, but
yeah,
I haven't heard of Papa Briscoe. So to me, it feels like it's two non-wrestlers and a wrestler against a bunch of wrestlers. So I'm just very, very, very confused on why they would have this match. I know it's on Rampage, but still, I feel like it's going to get ugly. We'll see. But so, am I excited? Yeah, maybe by her outfit. Is she just going to wear wrestling gear and her black pants?
She
Or is
showed
she
up
gonna?
in this segment in her referee gear.
I
So
know. So, is she going to wrestle in her referee gear and get the other referee confused? Is she going to pin
yeah,
herself?
does
I
she
don't know.
count? Yeah, will
Yeah,
she
does she
count?
count? Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Is she counting first? Either way, I'm like in the middle with excitement. So yeah, like
Yeah, I was just
I like her. She's fun, and she's like the only AEW referee. Are there other AEW referees? I think it's just her, right? I think it's just her. There's
yeah.
other ones, but they're not
There's one other
important.
guy. There's one other guy who's like
Yeah,
he gets pretty animated. He
yeah.
was in the match on Dynamite with MJF and Adam Cole. He's a short haired guy. And
Mhm.
he gets pretty animated sometimes.
He's
But
kind of muscular, right? He's
yeah,
got like
yeah.
yeah.
But I think those are their only two. And I just looked
I
up
think
Aubrey Edwards.
so.
And apparently she hosts a podcast with Tony Schiavone called AEW
Oh,
Restricted, but
she's on that.
she
Okay.
has a background in software engineering and computer
Oh,
science, having previously worked in the video game industry as a producer. She is not a wrestler.
oh, it says
She's
that on her Wikipedia. She
yeah
is not a
she
fucking wrestler.
oh she
Don't get
joined
it twisted.
she joined a independent promotion called 321 Battle as a referee. She
Hmm.
went under the ring name Gail Hebner. So I guess Girl Hebner.
Earl Hebner. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's spelled Gearl.
Hmm.
And then she began working with Washington-based promotions. She worked in the Mae Young Classic in WWE and on the Evolution, the women's pay-per-view that they had. And then,
Hmm?
yeah, she's only
Hmm.
ever been a referee. She's never been a wrestler.
Hmm. But
So,
I'm assuming she's been training somewhat.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think you have to be.
Yeah.
You got to take bumps and stuff
Yeah.
as a ref. You got to know how to take
Yeah.
chair shots and
Yeah.
all that.
And
So,
you have to understand wrestling in general, timing and all that fun
yeah.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
maybe this is something she wants to do, full time, and hopefully it works out for her. And
Yeah, she's got to look.
I'm curious to see how this match goes on Friday night. I'm curious to see what she does, how she looks, and if she's gonna do it, if she's gonna keep doing it, or is she gonna be going right back to being a ref? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. But good luck to her.
Yeah, I agree. I also thought this came out of nowhere. I know I remember
Yeah.
all this stuff, but they just like kind of cut this promo, and then all of a sudden she was involved and came out and was talking shit. I was very confused, but I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited.
100%.
Yeah. Well, let's get into Dynamite. And we talked about Dynamite beforehand, and I said I loved it, and you said it was all right. But
Yeah.
I thought I loved it. I thought it was a good show, and maybe it's just because we opened up with a 30-minute classic, a banger, a banger, a banger. Do you remember that? No.
Oh yeah.
We already
Sheamus.
forget
Yeah.
about that, Sheamus, because he
Yeah.
didn't really do it much after that.
Banger.
Yeah,
Yeah. He hasn't had many
banger.
bangers after bangers.
No,
anymore.
he hasn't wrestled much since
He had
then.
that one against Gunther, and after that,
Yeah,
it's like
and then it was
I'm
like,
gonna ride this until
I'm doing nothing from here on out. But Adam Cole, baby, versus MJF, and this match, I enjoyed it, man. I mean, it's crazy because people just talk about MJF as a promo guy, and they clown him all the time about how he can't wrestle. And does he have bad matches? How many bad MJF matches do you remember, Shooting Star? Because I don't remember much. I don't remember many bad.
no.
And you can say like, hey, I don't remember many classics. Obviously, he's not on the HBK Undertaker level or whatever else, but his matches are great, are good, or maybe they're not classics, but they're good. He doesn't have bad matches, does he not?
He had that one against Wardlow, where Wardlow
Oh, well, that
squashed
was
him
like
because
a squash. Yeah.
he
Hmm.
was leaving the company, or he like
Hmm.
walked
Hmm.
out, and I think that
Hmm.
was his punishment or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
But other than that, yeah, I don't think he's had many, and I think he continues to prove the doubters wrong. And
Hmm.
I'll be honest, I was pretty pessimistic about this match because I texted you
Yep.
after Rampage aired, and I was like, dude, they're doing the MJF Adam Cole match on Dynamite. They're
And we
giving us
thought he was jobbing. Yeah.
it's going to be an eliminator match, and we were like,
Hmm.
no, this like, what are they doing? Like, why are they doing this? Because it was I was worried it was going to be the similar to that CM Punk John Moxley match that they gave us on free
Yep.
TV,
Yep.
where they combined the titles and Moxley squashed CM Punk, and because his foot was hurt or something.
Mhm.
But it was the Rocky 3, and he says he's never seen Rocky 3. I'm like, come on, dude, you've seen
Oh,
Rocky 3.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
Seems
all
like
seen
it's
Rocky 3.
yes. Stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, but this match was a banger. It was a damn good match. MJF is getting better and better in the ring. Um, I did find it fascinating that the commentary team they said something that stood out to me, and that was that he's been the champion for 207 days. And he's only defended it 3 times.
Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, more power to him if that's the case. I mean, but when he does, he goes out there and he steals the
Mhm.
show. And this was another classic example of that.
It sounded less than Roman Reigns, right? Like, I feel like
Yeah,
Roman Reigns, if you were going to say 200 something days, he's defended it more than 3 times. It was a weird stat. It was weird.
yeah, and it's only been. I mean, he really has. He beat John Moxley for it, and
Hmm.
then he wrestled Bryan Danielson, the Four Pillars,
Hmm.
and Ricky
That's it.
Starks. Yeah,
Oh, Ricky Starks. Yes.
and then
Uh-huh.
that's it. And
Uh-huh.
now it's going to look like Adam Cole. So,
But
but
that's also is that also because AEW doesn't have pay-per-views? I mean, you
yeah,
can't blame him too much because you don't want your champ wrestling on Dynamite like Moxley all the time. You want them wrestling on the pay-per-views, and they only have one every 3 months.
yeah, yeah,
3 months, yeah.
and to be and also to compare him to Moxley, Moxley, he was defending the title a little bit more, but he was also doing these stupid eliminator matches that MJF. This was the first one MJF has done, and it was against Adam Cole. Moxley would go and wrestle somebody from New Japan in an eliminator match that we
Mhm.
knew Moxley was going to win. This one, I had no idea how it was going to go and how it was going to play out.
Mhm.
So, but I still think the idea of eliminator matches are stupid. That Adam Cole has to
100%.
beat MJF to get a match against MJF, but that one's for the title. Like, so stupid.
Yeah, especially when it's a 30-minute banger and Adam Cole's giving it
Yeah,
everything he's got to win that title for the first time, and it's for nothing. And so he
yeah,
has to do it all over again so MJF can study him and learn the
yeah.
it's stupid. Stupid. So
Y-
how'd you like the end? Did you like the 1, 2, bing, 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 bing? Did you think it was a Montreal screw job? Did you think it was like what was going through your head on that?
Yeah, I I liked it. I'm a little conflicted. I thought sometimes AEW gets their timing right a lot of
Hmm.
time. Like the one time when the Four Pillars cut that promo, and they said that they wanted a title match, they all said it perfectly at the same exact time that one night. And this time, I was worried that there was going to be a botch, like the ref was going to count to 3 and then the bell would ring, or,
Yeah.
but they did it all. They timed it perfectly. It worked out
Hmm.
excellent. Um, I didn't like Adam Cole being like, "Can I have 5 more minutes, please?"
Okay,
Like,
that was
like,
stupid. Yeah.
yeah, like MJF's going to give you the time of day. Like, no, he's not going. He's not going to give you 5 more minutes to potentially beat him and get a mat. Do all this, make him
Yeah.
do all this crap again in a few
Mhm.
months. But the thing I'm really concerned about is where they go from here. Is this the only match they're going to have? I mean, these guys had insane chemistry. I
Mhm.
loved them in the ring together. I want to see them
Mhm.
in the ring again. But is this going to lead to another match at All In? Is this going to lead to a match at Forbidden Door? Is this going to lead to
Mm.
where are they going with this? And I'm worried that it's going to be the same booking that we saw Bryan Danielson have to go
Mhm.
through and Chris Jericho had to go through to, in order to get your rematch, you have to go through these trials and tribulations,
Mhm.
and he's going to make Adam Cole go through the ringer just to get another shot at MJF. So I hope that they have some time, if it's at All In, to really hone in on how they're going to book it. They have like 10 or 12 weeks before
Yeah.
that pay-per-view. So, I mean, that's a long time, but they can build it up right and do it the right way. But so don't screw it up. I think that's my fear, is that it's right now I'm intrigued, but I am worried about where it's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know because I mm. I didn't mind the ending because you can have Adam Cole take the L, you can have MJF take the L, right? So you have to figure out a way. You can have the no DQ. So I like the time limit thing, but where does it go with Adam Cole after this? So MJF
Yeah.
was already moving on to a the Forbidden Door champion that he denied later on. He was like, I'm not fighting this guy.
He's like,
So fuck it.
no.
Yeah. Actually, MJF, okay, I want to really quick. We got a little bit of time. Does MJF, does he just like wing it? Because he did like a straight jerking motion in the real match. and it seemed like the announcers weren't digging that. And I was wondering if Tony Khan is cool with that, if he not. Is MJF? I mean, I know he throws his gum at the crowd every single time, which I thought was weird too. Because what if gum goes in people's hair or whatever
He
else?
doesn't
But
care.
MJF just But did you see that thing where he did like something and he was like did like jerking off thing, like, and it caught it on camera, and Taz even was like, "Oh,
That's not safe for work."
Yeah, I can't like." He didn't even want to comment. He was like, not like MJF. Just kind of, it makes me wonder if MJF really goes off script all the time, or is
I
that
think he might. I think
paid?
he
I
has
don't.
to. Yeah.
It's weird, but but I will say he clowned Adam Cole last week about his body or whatever, and Adam Cole looked good. He doesn't look bad. But then MJF took his scarf off and his jacket, and I was like, damn, MJF is definitely on steroids. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Thanks a lot, Adam Cole, for bringing that up.
Thanks
to
for
me.
pointing that out.
Yeah.
I did
He's
like
on steroids.
I like the armband that MJF had that said Vince was right. Just little things. I love the trolling that MJF does, where he's going after his opponents, and I thought it was cool. So
it is a great match though, classic.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where it goes, because why would Adam Cole get another chance? I mean, just because the time went out of limit, you still didn't win. So
you didn't get and again, it's an eliminator match, and this is the first one MJF has had in his title reign, and Moxley at this point had like 30 of them, and I still think it's a stupid concept that Adam Cole has to win to get a shot at MJF again. Like, that makes no sense. Makes no sense.
I agree.
So, but don't screw it up. Keep him looking strong, and don't do the trials and tribulations. Don't make him have to go through the entire BCC and then go through the entire JAS and then go through, I don't know, Wardlow and Sean Spears. Like, don't just
Sean Spears. Adam Cole, you got to be Sean Spears. You have no chance at MJF.
figure that out without making him go through all that crap. He has to beat Britt Baker in a one-on-one match or something.
Dude, I want to face Britt Baker in a one-on-one match. Sorry, Adam Cole did it.
We all do.
I saw you with the shirt off, Adam Cole. I might be in better shape. All right, let's go. What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
So the I want to talk about another surprise, I guess, and that we saw, and that's the Sammy Guevara, and he came out and cut a promo, and it looks like he's going full babyface now. It looks like he is going down the path of being a good guy. He got a pretty good reaction from the crowd. He talked about how he came this close when he really wasn't anywhere close to beating MJF.
I was thinking the same thing. Renee asked him like 100 times, like, you almost won the title. I'm like, when the fuck?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, when the fuck did we get ice cream? I don't ever remember him. Do you know what that's from? No.
Yes.
The Ringer. I never like best line ever in a movie. I don't remember him ever coming close to the title ever.
No, he didn't even take the pinfall. It was
he was like
Darby Allin was the one that got pinned. But he kept saying I was so close to winning. Like, no, you weren't. You were nowhere near it. And MJF had to beat Darby Allin with Darby Allin's own move to beat him. But it was a good little promo, and that led to Darby Allin coming out being like, "Congratulations!" Oh, and Sammy Guevara revealed that he's having a baby girl. And that's what led to Darby Allin coming out to congratulate him on the new arrival. And he talked about how they can, they're doing great things in AEW, and they're the face of the division, and blah, 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 all this stuff. And then out came Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho was not happy. The fans were singing his song, and as they got to the good part, he made them cut the music backstage. And he really lays into Sammy Guevara being like saying that, in this whole entire match at Double or Nothing, you never once called me. You never once, came to me for advice, and I'm your mentor. I'm the man that helped pave the way to get you to where you are. And Sammy Guevara, he gave him a good line and said, if you had called me, maybe you wouldn't have lost to Adam Cole. So that was a good dig back. And it really stung Jericho. And Jericho convinced him that, I think it's time that they team up again to get the Les Sex Gods back together. And they show AEW, and especially Darby Allin, who runs this place, and they'll beat Darby Allin 2-on-1 and yada, yada, yada. It's, they're going to take AEW back over. And, he's going to come back home to the Jericho Appreciation Society. That's Sammy Guevara. And then Darby Allin said, "Oh, well, I'm not alone. Like, you knew Sting was going to be there. Like, but he's like, I didn't travel alone." And out came Sting. He arrived on the scene, and he carried it. He had his bat, and he comes out to the ring, and it looks like we're getting a tag team match between Sting and Darby Allin versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. I don't know when it's happening. I don't know if it's happening next week on Dynamite, if it's happening at All In, is it happening at Forbidden? That's the thing with AEW. They do a lot of this stuff, and then they never tell you. Like, we wouldn't have, if we didn't watch Rampage, we would have had no idea that this Adam Cole match was happening on. They didn't really promote it. They didn't talk about it at all.
But everybody watches Rampage, just so you know. So that's what's going on. Everyone watches ROH, New Japan, and Rampage.
Yeah.
So
is this match happening on Collision on Saturday? Like, when is this match happening? But it looks like we're getting that match, and then.
It might have been at WrestleMania 40. We'll see. I don't know when it's.
They had a moment too where Sting and Chris Jericho have apparently never shared a ring together in their entire career, and they've been in the same company twice, AEW and WCW. And
WWE, were they not in WWE at the same time?
They may have been.
I think they were. Yeah, Jericho was.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, for that brief minute, Sting was there.
Yeah.
So that's 3
He
times.
had 2 losses in WWE. Come on, give him credit.
Yeah,
but he is 0-2 in WWE.
Yeah,
is he only 0-2? I think he's 0-2 in 0-3.
He lost to Seth Rollins,
Triple H.
And Triple H. Yeah.
Well, he was murdered by Seth Rollins. Yeah, I think those are the only matches. I don't think he's ever wrestled before or after. Yeah.
No. Yeah, and a lot of people thought he was done after breaking his neck against Seth Rollins, and then he came out in AEW and is doing leaps off barricades and things through tables and all like these extreme spots, but. Sting and Jericho had a moment in this segment where they like Jericho had a bat and Sting had his bat, and they like put their bats against each other, and then
have you seen Spaceballs? Yeah,
yeah, that's exactly.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of. Yeah, and the one thing that I took away from this was I've been watching wrestling now for 25 years, since 1998, and I'm 37 years old, so I was 12. Sting's bat has been metal this entire time. Has it really? Because because it was metal on Wednesday night.
No, it's always been wood. Has it not always been a wood bat?
I don't know, but I always thought he was the guy that brought out a black wooden bat.
Yes, it's always been wood.
But last night on Dynamite, when they like hit their bats against each other, which sounds really weird to say out loud.
We'll do that later, shooting star.
Yeah, when they were hitting their bats against each other, you heard the ping. Of like metal hitting metal, and I'm like, wait, those are metal? Like Sting's bats metal? Like, and then Sting
there's no metal bats, they're aluminum, aren't they?
Aluminum.
It's wood or aluminum ain't gonna hurt nobody. So yeah,
it was like he's got an aluminum bat, and this whole time I really thought he looks like a kind of guy that would carry a wooden bat, and like it's been aluminum. He even like hit the turnbuckle a couple of times after Jericho left the ring, and he was you could hear the aluminum pinging. It was louder than anything you hear in Omaha in the College World Series. It was, it was just typical, ping, ping. I was like, what? His bat is metal? That was the one thing I took out of the segment, but we're getting
out of it all. That was it.
Yeah. That was the one thing I was like, man, that's like mind blowing. Talk about was that a Mandela effect or something? Like, what if his bat has been metal this whole time and or aluminum?
It has not. That's AEW's budget cuts. Tony Khan, he buys too many wrestlers. He can't afford no wooden bat. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think this is an exciting time. I guess if people want to see, I think it's 25 years too late, Chris Jericho and Sting. But
give or take,
if it leads to a retirement match or a career versus career match, I think it's a good opponent for Sting to have as his final match. Chris Jericho is still pretty safe in the ring. Sting and Jericho can really have a banger, and they can have a series of matches that maybe leads to Sting calling it a career. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this, but it looks like they're setting something up for the future, and I'm kind of stoked for it. And then this segment led to an 8-man tag between Darby Allin and Sting, Orange Cassidy, because they're friends now, and Keith Lee versus the Mogul Embassy, the Swerve Strickland, Brian Cage, and the other 2 guys that are part of that, and Toa Leona and Khan. And it was a fun match. I don't remember Orange Cassidy doing anything in the match. I feel like this was like the one match where Orange Cassidy, he didn't kick off Dynamite, and
I was
B,
surprised it wasn't the first
yeah,
match. Yeah.
and B, he didn't really he didn't get his ass kicked the whole match and then get a victory at the end. He
I
just,
don't think he wrestled. Did he ever tag in? Maybe
I don't
once?
think so. I don't remember
I
him.
think he tagged in like once. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, but it wasn't memorable when he did.
No. Yeah.
But no, I guess it was an okay match, and yeah, I'm curious to see. I do like that they're finally giving Orange Cassidy a story. I like
Hmm.
that they're putting him in an actual feud instead of just putting him in random match. I do
Yeah.
think something's going to happen with the Swerve Strickland thing. I think Swerve is a good opponent for Orange Cassidy, and yeah, I'm curious to see what happens more with Chris Jericho and Sting, and curious to see where Darby goes from here. Are he and Sammy Guevara going to form a little alliance or what? I don't know.
Yeah. Swerve had a fun spot though, where all of them were holding up Keith Lee, and they like power bombed him from the turnbuckle, but Swerve jumped off the turnbuckle and did his like stomp, his like double
Yeah.
Finn Balor move on him. It was a pretty cool spot. Was that the win? Did
Yeah,
Swerve
it
get the
was.
win?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was yeah. You got the win. Yeah, it was a cool spot. Oh man, everything you said I agree with. It was yeah, a lot going on. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, Sting, Jericho, 25 years in the making. I mean, maybe I feel like I'm so old. It's like 100 years in the making. And you told me before we jumped on here that they had never wrestled, and I was in shock because Jericho was
Yeah.
in. But I think I forget how underutilized, and I love Eric Bischoff, but he fucked up here and he's admitted it now, although he still kind of denies it, but he admits it. Sorry about my language, that he should have used Jericho better. Just at that time, it was all about the muscles and the Hogans and the Steiners and the Nashes, and the Jerichos weren't those people yet at that time. But Jericho was just so over in WCW. I mean, he just really was,
Oh
and he
yeah.
wanted to fight
Fans loved him.
Goldberg, and Bischoff didn't let it happen. So when I look back at it, I can figure out why he never wrestled Sting, but why didn't he? Like, damn, that
Yeah.
would have been
They
good.
would have had a classic.
Yeah.
They would have had
And
a
that
great match.
was, I mean, I was in high school. It was 30 years ago. So why were
Yeah.
they not wrestling? So now them finally wrestling, it's definitely going to be a tag team match. There's no way we're letting Jericho and Sting go. I get that people still think Sting can go because he jumped off a barricade once, but he does not have it anymore. I mean, Sting got injured from one powerbomb from Seth Rollins, and that Triple H match was mediocre. But I'm so surprised he never won. Why did he not beat Triple H in WWE?
Because they Road Dogg came out and admitted it. He said that they should have, but they wanted Triple H to look strong because they were trying to get The Rock to wrestle Triple H at the next, because that was the same WrestleMania where The
Yeah.
Rock like interrupted Ronda Rousey's promo,
Mm-hmm.
and it was supposed to set up Rock maybe Rock and Rousey versus Triple H
Mm-hmm.
and Stephanie the next year, or even a one-on-one with Rock and Trips.
But you have Sting the
And
first time ever, and you have him lose and lose
yeah,
again. It's just
yeah,
like,
but it was also WCW. They had to put the final death knell in it, and
yeah, that was like decades later. You put the death
yeah,
knell in when you got rid of Buff Bagwell and Barry
yeah,
Stockhauser
the
and
week after he
Booker T.
started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally. But anyway, I agree. Good times. I mean, I'm all for the match. It's funny with Darby too, because I thought Darby was done with Sting, and now they're like Sting just like disappeared during the title. But I guess Jericho brought that up with Sammy Guevara, where he was like, "Hey, you didn't talk about me at all during the World Championship," and then he, said that line that you said about Chris Jericho. But Sammy
yeah,
Guevara, good guy. I don't like. I've never liked Sammy Guevara as a good guy. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I get that he's a good looking cat. He can go in the ring, but I when you're that good looking and you're that good in the ring, people hate you. So you're a bad guy. You're a heel. I don't think people are going to cheer him ever.
no,
I don't think they ever have. I mean, his name's a Spanish god. Who's going to cheer a Spanish god?
yeah,
I mean, you're yeah. So we'll see what happens with Sammy Guevara, but yeah.
yeah, and it just shows too, just with Hook going back to Jungle Boy, or Jungle Boy going back to
Mm.
Hook. Even in his promo, he was like, "You're my best friend, and I'm gonna get gold. I want you to be in my corner at Forbidden Door."
Hook
And now
didn't
Darby,
respond.
no, he just like fist bumped him, but it was like
Yeah.
even the fist bump was awkward.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, and then you show Darby Allin and potentially Sammy Guevara. It's just, man, like you had this four pillars match just like a couple of weeks ago, and now only one of those pillars is doing good things, and the other ones are kind of just
Jungle Boy.
They're relegated to the tag division, if you can even call it that. And I'm curious. I don't even know.
Jungle Hook. But anyway, well, let's talk about something that is working, and that's the BCC. Blackpool. Oh wait, did they win this week? Did they win this week?
No, they took
Oh no, they wrestled 3 cowgirls. How? Okay, let me get this straight. So, I'm not the biggest Hangman Page fan, but I get that he's a cowboy, right? That's why he's Hangman Page. I
guess. Yeah.
Why were the Young Bucks dressed up like Marty McFly from Back to the Future 3? Were they not? Like they got the cowboy outfits from like, I know that was the joke.
Dance.
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 What's
that mean?
Nike. Nikkei. He's moonwalking in the poop. Like, what in the hell were they wearing? And I get if they're trying to make like the spoof and be the Back to the Future 3 guys, but Hangman is supposed to be a cowboy, right? That's not like a spoof. I was so confused on the Young Bucks. And then the Young Bucks come up dressed up like clowns who stopped the bull from attacking people during like the rodeo ride. And they get the win. We had Hangman Page got the win, right? He got the win, the victory over the BCC, over Wheeler Yuta. And okay, you spent the last 2-3 weeks having Danielson praise Wheeler Yuta for dominating, for winning matches. He pinned Hangman Page to only have him lose on a Rampage Dynamite before Collision. I was very confused on why they had BCC lose. I get that BCC kicked their butts afterwards, and the match was good. Don't get me wrong. Another good match. Adam Cole, MJF, good match. BCC, Hangman Page, and the Young Bucks, great match. But I don't like it here. I think the BCC should have won, kept the momentum going, and then you could have had everybody and their mom come out, because we literally had everybody, right? We had people I didn't even know come out. There was people from the crowd came out. I think I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin out there. There was all sorts of everybody and their mom. I think your mom was out there. Everybody was out there just wrestling people. And then we ended the show with Kenny Omega, right? And he came. I think Don Callis came out and got booed really quick. I think everybody came out. It was ridiculously stupid. But either way, how do you feel about the BCC losing? Like, does it ruin the momentum, or do you think we just forget about it because they've been winning so much? It doesn't really.
Yeah, matter? I think we just forget about it, because this is round like 18,000 of the BCC against the Elite, and you got to give them one every now and again. And I thought that commentary kind of gave this match away when they kept saying that any match John Moxley's involved in with the BCC, they're undefeated in a year or something along those lines. And then I was like, as soon as they said that, like literally 2 minutes later, they take Wheeler Yuta's getting pinned for 3, and the match is over. And I'm like, okay, I knew that was going to happen. I knew as soon as he said that they were going to lose. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this kills their momentum. I think it stalls it for sure, but I don't think it kills it. I think it's a minor setback. And I didn't like Bryan Danielson acting so frustrated with Wheeler Yuta when the rest of them were the reasons that they lost. And Wheeler Yuta's been killing it for him lately, and he's been getting wins.
While you're coughing, I was going to say the same thing. I was so confused. Oh, is he dying? All right. Someone mouth to mouth, North Carolina. Attention.
I'm back.
Was literally. Oh, he's back.
Yeah,
he's back.
I'm good.
Back in a New York groove. I was very confused on that too, because he was literally blowjobbing Wheeler Yuta for the last 3 weeks, carried him out of left commentary to carry him out of the ring, and then Wheeler Yuta takes 1 L. As Claudio and John Moxley got their ass kicked on the sideline, and that's why he got pinned. And he was disgusted, shaking his head, not wanting to respond. I agree with you fully. Yeah, I thought it was weird.
And then the stuff after the match, you talk about overbooked. My God, we got the return of Eddie Kingston. He came out and he went after first he went after Claudio, and so they were
4 Whoppers.
Yeah. He was slow to come out. He got no reaction too.
No reaction.
None. I was like,
but he was dressed differently, right? I don't think people recognized who he was.
Yeah, he had like a jersey on, and he looked like a combination of John Cena and Brodus Clay. He had like a jersey on. Then he had a Yankees hat that he was putting on as he was running down to the ring just for it to fall off in the ring. But yeah, he came out and he was brawling with Claudio, and then he starts feuding with the Young Bucks, and then John Moxley gets in his face, and they don't come to blows, and then
No,
he helps.
Moxley's shook.
Yeah, he stops, and then like he helps Matt Jack, or he helps Kingston get Matt Jackson off of him, and then they, Moxley and Kingston beat up Matt Jackson, and then then for some reason Moxley shoves Kingston, and they're starting to go at it, and then out comes Takeshita, and he takes out Eddie King. He throws Eddie Kingston over the rope, and it's just, and out came Don Callis, and then out came Kenny Omega, and he takes out everybody. He's going after anybody that in the BCC that can walk.
Yeah.
And then out came Will Ospreay to tease their match for the IWGP United States title at Forbidden Door. Will Ospreay, he has a sick finisher, by the way. That was a sick finisher.
I do like it. Not only that, but he's a good looking cat. He's got a good look, good moves. He's slick. I'm all about Will Ospreay, bro. When he came out, I was like, all right.
Yeah, that finisher he had, I was like, God, that's I think that's prettier than the End of Days. And we've said that Baron Corbin has the best finisher.
But it looks real. Will Ospreay's finisher looks like it flipping hurts. I feel like every time he does it, he messes it up. It looks painful.
Yeah. But it was an overbooked mess, and Ospreay takes out Kenny Omega, and he stands tall, and that's how Dynamite goes off the air. So it was, Tony Khan sometimes does a little too much in the final minutes of matches. He has to get everybody out there, give them their time to shine. But he could have let that breathe a little bit. And this isn't even the go-home show for Forbidden Door. And this felt like a go-home show. I mean, it was a good show start to finish, and it felt like a go-home show for a big pay-per-view.
Good point.
It wasn't.
Good point.
So,
yeah. It's not the go-home show. Yeah.
So they have another week, but I'm curious to see what they do.
Isn't Eddie Kingston in ROH now? What's happening? I don't. Anyway, all right, let's skip it. He came.
So is Claudio though. Claudio's like the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Is he still the champ? Is he still the champ?
Okay. Yeah, and he's still feuding with. He's in all these BCC matches.
Never brings out his belt. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the last thing I want to talk about with Dynamite is your boy Wardlow against Jake freaking Hager. The TNT title match. This was a pretty championship heavy episode of Dynamite. We had we had a women's title match. We had a TNT title match. We had the MJF Adam Cole world title eliminator match. So it was a pretty championship worthy Dynamite. Not much happened in this match. I was curious as to why Jake Hager got a title shot in the first place. They never really explained it. He hasn't had any issues with Wardlow. They haven't had a story. They haven't had anything built up to this. Arn Anderson got beat up again. So I mean, that's seems to be his thing every week.
Well, no. Last week was his son.
Last week.
Last week fake gave him like a cut on his forehead. Did you see it? They like gave him some makeup, at least to look like he was like beat up. Yeah. Last week was his son. This week it's him. Also on Rampage, he really doesn't care about his son. He even came out and he was like, "Oh yeah, Brock will take care of himself. We got bigger fish to fry." I'm like, "Damn, dude! Like, no wonder Cody Rhodes left you and went to." But no, I mean, this was it was a match, and it happened, and Wardlow got the win. But the big thing that I took away from this is on Saturday night, first episode of Collision, we're gonna get Luchasaurus, who apparently answered the open challenge a few weeks ago, but Christian Cage is the one that took it. Yeah.
But Christian Cage made sure to mention that. He was like, "You remember that open challenge you dished out a few weeks ago? Well, Luchasaurus is answering it, and he is taking the title from you on Saturday at Collision." And I'm actually stoked for this. I feel like they've done a good job of building Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. They're telling a story. These guys actually have a personal animosity with Wardlow, and Christian Cage came close to taking the TNT title off of Wardlow at Double or Nothing, and now he can potentially get it through Luchasaurus. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really good match on Saturday, and I'm excited for it.
I'll give you that. With all that said, Wardlow, Luchasaurus, yes, please. Wardlow better win because Christian Cage should have won the title. Luchasaurus is okay. Does he have a new mask? Is that a new mask? Because I know they were like sued. It looks the same. I don't know. Luchasaurus hasn't really done much. It's all been kind of Christian Cage. I thought it was kind of weird too that Christian Cage was very cocky with just losing and then now having Luchasaurus. It was very not Christian Cage. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
with his character and his persona, you would think he would still want that match and not want to give it to Luchasaurus because he felt like he got cheated out because he was saying he got cheated out of his match. So it was a very weird segment, but
Yeah, it
teach
does
its
make
own.
yeah, it
Yeah.
makes me wonder if Christian Cage is going to turn on Luchasaurus, if
Okay. So
Luchasaurus
there.
is going to
Yep.
turn on Christian
Mm-hmm,
Cage, if there's
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because I mean it was Christian Cage that took that shot from Luchasaurus back
Yeah.
a few weeks ago too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
so
each its own. I'm
it's
excited.
intriguing.
Yeah, Luchasaurus is fun, and he's big, and Wardlow is big, and yeah, Wardlow's just like Fred Flintstone now with like that outfit.
Yeah,
His butt takes it off. Yeah, I don't know. Wardlow looks
I don't.
weird. He needs his
Yeah,
long hair back. I was digging him without it, but we'll get into that with my segment. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm all for it, and I think Christian Cage will cut some promos on the mic and hopefully speak for Luchasaurus, and we'll see what happens. I think Collision's getting set up to be okay. The main event isn't phenomenal, but that main event has our boy in it, CM Punk. He's got a new haircut, and CM Punk, if we want to talk about really quick, he cut a promo
yeah,
on Dynamite, not Rampage, right? I forgot which
yeah.
one it was. But
It was Dynamite. He had a
Dynamite,
video
yeah,
package.
he had a
Yeah,
video package, new hair, and go
it,
ahead,
wa-
go ahead, go
it
ahead.
was
What was he gonna do? Go ahead. Yeah, it was
he.
stupid. It was
He's gonna
very
cut a
MMA, but
promo.
what is he gonna
Yeah,
do? Yeah,
they showed
let
him
us know.
working out. They showed him lifting weights. They showed him doing the every wrestler has to do the rope thing where they're shaking it. But yeah, he's cutting a promo apparently on Saturday. He has some. He said he has some things he wants to get off his chest. So I guess that tells me that he's opening up Collision and he's gonna have a mic in his hands in the United Center in
But is he going
Chicago.
to talk about the situation? I
I
mean,
don't
you
know.
said you couldn't. You said he couldn't.
That's what
He
that's
was
what
hitting
the
at it.
that's what the dirt
Yeah,
sheets say. But
dirt
who
sheet
knows?
suck. Yeah.
Yeah, that they all signed
Mm-hmm,
NDAs. So I'm sure they'll allude to it somehow, or
mm-hmm.
maybe he's I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But the one thing I found weird in that whole thing was FTR was really slobbering all over CM Punk. They're like, our best friend is
Dude,
back, and he's our
right?
best buddy, and we know that Switchblade Jay White and Juice Robinson, you guys are really good, but you're not as good as CM Punk. Like they were
Yeah.
all
Mm-hmm.
over Punk.
The,
And I know that
yeah, they
they're
were.
friends, and I know that
Mm-hmm,
they speak highly of each other, and they worked together before when Punk was when Punk was happy in AEW. But
mm-hmm,
this was it was just a very very slob fest over
mm-hmm.
Punk, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, but yeah. So I am curious to see what happens in the main event. I like that they one thing too is they didn't do anything with Samoa Joe. They interviewed Switchblade Jay White.
He
They
showed like
interviewed
a
Juice
video of
Robinson.
him.
They
Yeah.
showed and then they showed then they interviewed those two guys, and then like, oh yeah, we're gonna be joined by Samoa Joe, and then they show a video of Samoa Joe, and that's it. There's no interview with him. There's no like,
I'm
I'm
pretty
happy
sure
to
it's
see
his
Punk back.
walkout
Yeah.
entrance for ROH, right? He was like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was like just like an
the
intro.
towel. Yeah.
It was like,
It was weird. I was like, well, man, because like those two guys
is
have
he
more
dead?
history.
He couldn't cut a promo?
I
Like
guess,
a
yeah.
recorded promo like Punk? Yeah.
Because him and Punk have history. Like they were like big
Yes.
rivals and stuff in Ring of Honor,
Uh-huh.
ironically. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
What's going on is that Juice Robinson's taking the pin and they're losing. So yeah.
Big
By
time.
CM Punk. Yeah. So
CM
I'm
Punk
calling
is
it
gonna
now.
hit the GTS.
Yes. On Juice Robinson. Yeah.
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 So,
we'll see.
But yeah, curious to see what Punk has to say.
I agree. Overall, Dynamite was good. But yeah, good week in AEW. I'm excited. I'm kind of excited for Collision. I know the main event and yada 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 isn't that great, but I'm excited to see where it's going. If it's going to
Andrade's
be
back, Miro's back.
Dude, everyone got back, and the crowd popped loud for Miro. When they showed Miro coming back, that crowd erupted. Andrade, who's he wrestling? Andrade's wrestling.
He's wrestling somebody good.
Yeah, he's having a good little match.
Let me look it up. It's who is it? Buddy Matthews.
Yeah.
So
Oh
Rhea
yeah, that's
Ripley's-
right, because he went to talk about him and he messed up because he was like, "Oh no, I mean Tony Storm versus
yeah, that's right.
That? Yeah, he
yeah,
like cut off.
Taz or Excalibur.
Excalibur messed up. Yeah, and he was like,
Buddy
"No, it's black." Yeah,
it's
How's the
Charlotte
black?
Flair's boyfriend against Rhea Ripley's boyfriend. So
yeah, dum dums. Yeah. But no, I mean, obviously Andrade is gonna win, but let's see how I don't like Andrade, so we'll see how he does.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his
No,
either.
he's known for sticking it to Charlotte. That's about it. But yeah, but AEW is good, man. I'm excited to see what's going on, the future, what they're gonna do with these two shows. I'm really hoping it's Raw and SmackDown now, not Raw and SmackDown back in the days. So
Yeah, me
so
too.
let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
And I think AEW also needs to slow down a little bit. I feel like they're doing a little too much at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
They're booking for Collision. They're trying to get all these Collision shows to
Mm-hmm.
sell out, and I know they're having a hard time. They're trying to sell out Wembley Stadium for All In. They're trying to promote Forbidden Door. They have All Out coming up soon. Like I just think they like just slow down. It is an exciting time for them, but I don't want them to get too caught up in trying to sell everything out that they kind of forget about the quality of the product in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree, and I want to know if they're splitting or not.
yeah.
And I still think they should. I mean, I
Oh yeah.
know they didn't talk about Thunder Rosa though, which I was surprised. Did I miss it? I didn't see anything about Thunder Rosa. I
Yeah.
know
I didn't.
Miro and Andrade were the two, and then Thunder and CM Punk, and everyone's been talked about with Thunder Rosa. So I was wondering if Thunder Rosa is going to get. Maybe she's still not healed. Maybe she's coming back in a week. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
no
They
Thunder
didn't
Rosa
say
stuff.
anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe she's still hurt.
Maybe. All right. Ready for the segment?
Let's do it.
We got 9 minutes. Let's do an unpopular opinion. Boom, 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 boom. This is where we talk about something that you guys probably like that we don't like, and that's why
Yeah.
it's unpopular. All right, let's do it. As always, we got the handsome devil himself, and I say handsome devil himself because he has red hair, Mr. Shooting
That's right. The
Star.
ginger.
You have no soul either, and the devil, I'm
That's right.
assuming,
That's
has
what they
no
say.
soul.
Yeah.
That's what they say, or South Park said it, so it's factual.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, speaking of South Park, Casa Bonita's opening back up. Did you hear about that? Casa
Yeah.
Bonita.
Yeah, that's
Have you
awesome.
seen that on TikTok
Yeah.
and stuff? They're like praising it. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I didn't know Casa Bonita was a real thing, but now I know it's
Yeah.
reopening. So cool beans.
Yeah.
Cool.
People love that stuff.
They do. But anyway, what's your unpopular opinion,
Oh,
Ray? We'll do one each.
all right.
What's yours? Let's go, bruh. Let's go,
Okay.
bruh.
Unpopular opinion. I really do not like the concept of Forbidden Door. I think it's a stupid concept. I think it's not like AEW, like it's not a Forbidden Door because all these guys have been on AEW already. Like Will Ospreay was just on Dynamite. He was on AEW TV a few months ago when him and Kenny Omega were feuding for the Trios title, and we just had a Rampage a few weeks ago dedicated to AAA guys and New Japan wrestlers, and it's fun to showcase them. Don't get me wrong, but is it really a Forbidden Door? And we talked about this before. We like our matches to have stories. We like our matches to have build, and it feels like these matches are just thrown together. Sometimes I feel like the AEW guys don't even want to be a part of this. They're just doing it because they're contractually obligated to. And I just think the concept it's a cool idea on paper. You get to fantasy book your favorite wrestler versus your favorite wrestler, but I don't care for it. I think this year, I will say, I think this year's event will be better than last year's because everybody was hurt last year and we didn't really get to have a solid event. Punk was hurt, Punk was hurt, Adam Page was hurt, Kenny Omega was hurt, Bryan Danielson wasn't there, Adam Cole wasn't there. So I think this one will be a lot better in terms of actual wrestling. But again, I like stories I don't even like people who say like, well, I want to see a Forbidden Door with WWE versus AEW. I don't. I don't want to see it. I don't like it when superheroes come together in movies. Like, yes, I like the Avengers, but is that necessary? Do they need to all work together? I like them all to kind of be their separate. I like them all to be separate. And I don't care for the Justice League. I like Batman to do his own thing. I like Superman to be his own thing. I don't need all these companies coming together. I'm just not a fan of if there's a story and they're going to do like an invasion or something and it leads to some matches that way. Okay, I'm all for it. But like when a couple months or years ago, I think ROH, like before it was owned by Tony Khan, invaded Impact and it set up like Impact Wrestling versus ROH. And I thought that was pretty cool. But as far as an actual Forbidden Door, like I don't want to see MJF against Roman Reigns. I don't. I don't want to see Superman Punch versus Superman Punch, Roman Reigns versus Orange Cassidy. I don't want to see CM Punk against Seth Rollins. I don't know. I just don't want to see it. I'm just not a fan of the whole concept of the Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I want to see all those matches. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to save you here. I respect it and I get it. And this is why I hate Forbidden Door too, is that there's no story. Once again, I love story. Why was Roman and Sammy so important? Why is Jay deciding what side? It's story. You can't just grab homeboy from Japan and put him up with MJF and hope they're going to work. And not only that, but hope that I care and hope that you care and hope that anybody who's a casual, and we're not even casuals, care. You know what I mean? Like, and MJF even blew the guy off. He was like, I don't give a shit about this guy. I'm not wrestling.
Yeah,
why do I care
buried
now?
New Japan too. Yeah,
and I literally have no idea who that guy is. I couldn't even tell you his name. Right, if you put a gun to my head right now and told me say the guy's name who challenged MJF, and I'm a pretty hardcore wrestling fan, I would take the bullet to the brain. I have no idea who that guy was, why he was challenging MJF, what the point was. So I agree with you. Forbidden Door is a joke, and it's not a Forbidden Door when you have, like you said, Will Ospreay has been a regular on AEW. How is that a Forbidden Door? It's literally like a Forbidden Door being Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. That's not a Forbidden Door.
No,
but that's what AEW would call it, because that's basically compared. That's like the same, right? Like the same comparison.
NXT versus
main Raw. Roster. That's like it's so stupid. Like I agree with you. I think we'll agree that's unpopular, but I guarantee we'll get a lot of flack from B-Roll and other AEW nut huggers. What is it called?
Apologists.
There you go. All those guys. So, but I don't get it. I agree with you, my man. I think it's unpopular.
Yeah, I'm just not. And again, I think the wrestling will be good. I have no doubt about
100%. The matches will be great.
But I just don't care. I don't. No. And it's not like any of these. Like, it's not like these titles. No disrespect, but the titles don't mean anything to me. You know, if John Moxley wins or Kenny Omega wins the IWGP US Championship, is he going to defend it on AEW TV every week? Is he only going to defend it in New Japan? So we'll see it one time and he won't see it again. You have to go find it. I don't know. I just don't want to see it. I don't care about the Forbidden Door.
I agree.
And wasn't Kenny Omega just on the big New Japan pay-per-view? Just a few.
I'm pretty sure he was in Japan because he wasn't in Canada. So where the hell was he?
Yeah, wasn't he just wrestling?
Yeah.
Like, so is it really a Forbidden Door? I don't know. It's stupid.
The only Forbidden Door to me is anyway. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Do it. You're like, I'm married. Yes, that is my Forbidden Door. Okay. My unpopular opinion, I'm going to switch it on you. I told you what I was going to do, and I'm going to switch it right now. You ready?
Here we go.
You're going to be mad. You're going to be mad.
All right. Bring it.
You ready?
Yes.
I don't care about CM Punk coming back right now. That's my unpopular. I don't think it's going to do anything for Collision or anything. The promos they cut for him were whack. His haircut's cool, and he's working out. I get it. But him and FTR versus Bullet Club Gold and Samoa Joe, who couldn't even take time out of his busy schedule to cut a 1-minute promo.
The king of television.
The king of television couldn't even. And I guess he's the ROH TV. I don't know who's our. I love CM Punk. I'm all for him. I love him. I got his shirts. I've been a fan forever. Wakanda forever. But he is just not that guy right now. And I don't think it's going to do anything. I don't think Collision's going to get any more ratings because of him. I think they effed up with the match. I think they should have done him in the Elite, even though they couldn't talk about it. They could have like set something up for it without. They could have done the secretive. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, last time Punk was here, or Punk versus Omega. That's a big time match like they're doing with the Forbidden Door. They could have done something like that and not talked about it if they couldn't. I sorry to break it to you, man. I don't think it matters anymore. I don't think CM Punk's that guy anymore. I want to see CM Punk, and I think people want to see CM Punk, but he ain't Roman.
No.
He's not The Rock. He's not Randy Orton. You heard me. He ain't none of those people. I don't think he's anybody that's going to put butts in seats. I think he's just CM Punk, and 20,000 people are still going to show up and watch it and maybe chant his name for a little bit in Chicago and then move on with their lives.
Yeah. I agree with you. I do. I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
like
are a CM Punk
I am,
fan.
man. I am.
You
I'm
have
a
his
big time.
OnlyFans, I believe. So
I
you
do.
are
Yeah,
like,
I subscribe. Yeah.
subscribe.
He's got my credit card number and everything, but no, like, but I completely agree. I think we've talked about this before, like when we've done our CM Punk segment. What did he say today? And
Mm-hmm.
just all
Mm-hmm.
the stupid crap that he's been doing on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, and like I'm excited to see him back, and
Me
I'm
too.
curious to see what he does. But other than that, I don't care. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about CM Punk on episode 2 of Collision. I'm not going to
Yep.
watch it because of CM Punk. I'm watching episode 1 because of CM Punk. Now they have to they have to try to get me to watch. I mean, we have to do it for this podcast, but
Yeah.
if I wasn't doing this podcast, they have to keep me intrigued to watch episode 2.
But is a main event going to bring you to episode 2? That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we do get the elite. Maybe they come out and afterwards and stare him down or something. But honestly, I'm curious to see what he says, because I'm curious to see if these reports are true that he can't talk about the incident, or maybe he talks all about it. Maybe he brings it all up. I'm curious to see what he says in the promo. But other than that, I really don't care. I don't want him anywhere near the title picture. I don't want him anywhere near any title picture. I don't want him in the TNT title picture. I don't want him in the trios title picture. I don't want him in the war. Definitely not in the AEW world title picture. I want him to just have matches. I want him to lose a lot. I want him to put other guys over like he said he was going to do when he first joined. I just have this feeling that if it doesn't go right this time, they're going to sever ties with him, and they should, after everything he's done. So I am intrigued to see what he says, but AEW's been fine without him. I think it's been clicking on all cylinders recently, and I think this has a chance to stall some of that momentum. So I'm right there with you. I'm intrigued, but they've got to draw me in to watch episode 2.
Yeah, and my thing is that they needed him to be the champ, right? That was like the whole thing. Like they had Jericho be their first champ, they had him be the champ after a couple of the, pillars, Hangman Pages and stuff, couldn't really do it, and Moxley, and they needed him to be the champ. But I don't think so, because I think MJF is legit. He's had phenomenal matches, and I think whether MJF keeps it or Adam Cole takes it, I think AEW is going to be A-okay. So I don't think they need CM Punk anymore, and I think this is just bad timing. 100% they have.
They've proven it since he's been gone, and
and I get TK is all about it. TK is bent over on all fours. He loves CM Punk. I get it, but I don't think they need it. And that's not a dog on CM Punk. I want to watch CM Punk wrestle, whether it be in WWE or AEW. I love CM Punk. I just don't think he is that dude. I don't think he is.
Yeah, anymore. I don't think he is either, and I think he was when he came out. I mean, it was cool when he came out a couple years ago, and it was the 7-year he's been gone, and now like this is what his third return in AEW, because he came back from that injury to take out Moxley, and then this will be return number 3. So it's just kind of wash, rinse, repeat with AEW. So let's see what he says. I'm gonna watch episode 1, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I don't think he's that guy anymore, and I think he's got to prove to me too that he can stay healthy. I mean, he had he held the title for 15 minutes each time because he kept getting hurt, and I think he's just got to show that he can stay healthy. If you do that, then keep him in AEW. But he's older now, and he's hurt all the time. So
he gets hurt off of anything now. So he got hurt by jumping into the crowd. So
that's why I'm
legit. I was there.
He he did a crowd dive
during COVID.
And hurt his foot. But I mean, it just makes me wonder too, like, why are they putting him in a match when he hasn't wrestled since last September? I mean, I get
FTR carries it.
It's a tag match. I get that, but still, you run that big risk. He could get hurt in this match, and then we're talking about CM Punk never coming back to wrestling. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither, man. Those days have passed. CM Punk, Undertaker, WrestleMania days have passed. That's like how I remember him. And it's
the pipe bomb.
Yep. It is sad. It is sad.
So, I love CM Punk, but ready for him to. I agree with you.
Yep. I'm excited for SmackDown tomorrow. I'm excited for Collision. Let's go. Wrestling is still hitting on all cylinders. I thought Dynamite was good, and I'm loving life right now as a wrestling fan. And thank you all for tuning in. Really quick, we're gonna start switching. We're gonna do Tuesday and Thursdays now, right? Shooting Star.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays are hard. Tuesdays, Thursday nights. Hopefully 10 o'clock Eastern. That's what we're gonna hit every single night. So hopefully some of you don't act like you go to bed at 10 o'clock. Y'all nerds are up
y'all are
all
watching
night.
NXT.
Yeah, y'all watching whatever you're watching, Game of Thrones, playing video games, whatever. Don't pretend. So you can listen to us, tune in, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock my time, the real time Western. There's only one time, that's Western time. But yeah, look at Shooting Star.
The whole country.
It's 12:09 right now.
Yeah.
Shooting Star is literally in Friday right now, and I'm still on Thursday.
Yeah,
that's
whole
weird.
world.
Think about that.
I know that is weird. Like I'm in tomorrow and you're in yesterday.
Yes, isn't that weird? That's crazy. Yeah. I'm about to go drink another beer and watch some TV, and you're like gonna pass out and fart on your wife in bed. Yeah, you're like literally. Don't act like dudes don't fart in bed. Yeah, you're literally about to, and I'm gonna stay up for another 3 hours. So
nice. Well, drink one for me.
Oh, I'll drink two for you. Yeah.
There you go.
I haven't had a margarita all night, so did you notice I was okay?
I thought you did fine.
Yeah, B-roll was calling me out, but I did all right. But anyway, tune in Tuesday. Let's go. Thank you. We keep popping on the TikToks. Get it going. Keep viewing us. Keep subscribing to us. Keep telling your friends about us. Two Dudes Wolfpack. Let's go. I am Mr. MWO, and with me as always is Mr.
Shooting Star Press.
Sleepy Star Press?
Yeah, Sleepy Star Press tonight. But, hit us up on the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Yeah, I'm the one that's at the margaritas tonight now. But hit us up on the YouTubes, the Twitches, our Instagrams are right here on the screen.
Did you say Facebook? I don't have a Facebook. I can start one though. You are sleepy.
I am. Yeah, man. I'm out, man. But yeah, hit us up. We're halfway to 500 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, we are. Yes, sir.
Keep it coming. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to that pivotal 1,000 mark. I thought it would be easy to get to 1,000, but man, it is hard. It's harder than it was on TikTok. But once we get to 1,000, then more things can come for us. So help us get there. And we're a fourth of the way there. So we can We can do it. We can do it. We can't do it without your help. So appreciate all the love and support. Go download us on Apple and Spotify too, and rate us and review us and give us some love over there.
Let's go. Two dudes.
Two dudes out.
Okay.